Well, all we can do is just keep winning. It's kind of what we do. You're on the Terror Dome.
Turn it up, Gino.
And what's up, everybody? It is 12:30. That is December 30th at 10:28 in the AM. I am Terror Dome on Victory Tuesdays. Become just commonplace. Victory Tuesday. It's what we do. It's pretty nice. Just building it up and getting it done. It's at this point, it's just hard to be humble. The San Francisco 49ers just make a way. They just keep doing it, and they're doing it in a bevy of different ways. You've got to respect the coaching staff, the organization, the picks that we've made, the depth, the special teams, the offensive line, the resilience, and the core group of guys who just been there, A1s, day ones, veterans, rooks. They just find ways. They just continuously find ways. Man, that was a barn burner there. I called it, let me add it to the stage there. It was non-stop entertainment. Non-stop entertainment. And, it's a bit of a colloquialism that's also used in, like, when you're describing a movie or when you're describing a feature, a talk show. It was non-stop, taking on the double entendre of, well, dang, is we gonna stop anybody out here? Is anybody? Do y'all see this dude going up and down the field? What is we doing, Lord? And the entertainment, and Kylie Young so graciously has come in. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Where the Purdy haters? Oh, bruh. I was thinking about clipping up some of the apologies and putting them before you, Golden Domers. Hey, man, they do what they do. As I've said in the past, when the new record comes, don't come like a effing bum. Ask me for nothing because you won't get a effing crumb. They know who they are, and they just, they do what they do. They couldn't see it, Kylie. Me and you and a few selected Golden Domers, we done. It is what it is. We've seen this for years, since December of 2022. You've been telling them, you know what you're talking about, but this is what they do. Hey, you got a lot for special needs. Remember that short bus that they used to have? When you was going to school, you had to let them people, you had to let the special needs people come, and they had their own section, and you didn't discriminate. You're not better than them. It's just through the grace of God, and I got special needs people in my family, but you have to allot for, they don't, they ain't dealing with the regulars of reality like you are. And you just let them cook. All right. But I'm telling you, it ain't that way. You don't wear your football helmet and your cowboy boots. I'm just saying that's not what's hot in the street. But if you want to, you go ahead and do that. Terror Dome is gonna be. Nonstop Entertainment. Let me shout out Red Jet Shell. First one in the game. What a game. That was a game. Like, sub, share, and subscribe, and tell a friend to tell a friend. Get my viewership up. You know, the haters get more viewership and more subs some kind of way. And you know, it's like that in church too. The club sells out. But Sunday morning, you know, to get that word, hey, we have trouble, you know, getting folks up. Maybe you're too early. I don't know. But hey, it is what it is. Dessert sell out too. Bebop Jones in the building. He said, "Go Niners, death taxes, and Stafford INTs," which is a prelude to my subtext. I don't know if y'all saw the game last night, but them LA Rams went to one of those two American cities that I've told y'all about time and time again. Young men have trouble in Miami and Atlanta for whatever reason, late in seasons or early starts or quirky stuff. I don't know what it is, but I've just seen a lot of upsets. Not incriminating anyone, not saying or giving innuendo to anything, but it's just two American cities I done seen guys kind of go through it a little bit and be sluggish, and they get upset in Atlanta, in Miami. I do this. You ain't saying nothing slick to a can of oil. Kyler Young says they hella quiet. They are. Bebop Jones says dog. That's the and that's the pronunciation you're supposed to use. Dog. Dog is an acronym. It means driven, attitude, willing, greatness. You know, and when you a dog, you got a driven attitude, and you gonna will greatness. It's something inside you that's going to affect the game, the process, the journey, the outcome. Is something is you gonna impart your will on this thing. It get beyond, you know, just straight athleticism. You know, all of us jump, all of us run, all of us can learn how to hit. All of us can do a bevy of athletic things and athletic tasks. It gets beyond your 4-4-40. It gets beyond your, 20 times on the bench press. When you a dog, when you got that driven attitude and you're going to will greatness, you're going to will it out of yourself, and you're going to affect those around you as well as those that are opposing you. That's when you a dog. When I see it on you, I know it, because I hate to toot my own horn, but toot. I'm familiar with the spirit. And speaking of familiar spirit, Captain Niner Massey in there. Talofa faithful. Talofa to you, my brother. Talofa to you. Kylie says, I think Myles Garrett should get MVP. He's been the best player in the football league this season. He definitely up there. Just all around non-quarterback, because you know how we do. You know how the press does. They make it a quarterback award, but us objective folk who just look at football for football, who's been the best at, that's what I like. Who's the best at their position? Who's been the most dominant at their position and put a stamp on games and the impact of their franchise? Who's been box office? Who's been just really dominant at their position? I'd have to say Miles is definitely up there. I thought he would have had the record by now because he was on a tear. I know when they played us, didn't he get 2 or 3 sacks against us? When they play us, you get the best of the best. But, the mother folks don't want to be the one that he gets the sack record on. And hopefully he does it this weekend. But Miles will be up there. Jonathan Taylor had an incredible year this year. Incredible. You got Dak. CMC's been real nice, hitting you in different ways. He could be up there. It's legit. I ain't gonna front, man. It's legit. It's legit. What I think the Ridos will do, they crazy about a quarterback, and I think you had mentioned it down here. You talked about May, Garrett better than May at his position for this year. Yes, to me, but they weigh what we call a metrics on players in the national, but particularly MVP, and they will give it to the quarterback position weighs heavier in the metrics of MVP award than any other position. It just is how they do it. But he's definitely got to be up there. If he would have obliterated that sack record a week ago, I'd say, you couldn't deny him. But with it coming down to the last game, you're going to have detractors and naysayers saying stuff like, well, it took him 18 weeks, 17 games back in the day. They only played 16 games. They're going to say stuff like that. But he's been on a tear. So, I'm agreeing with you. I am. He's definitely up there. We got some other folks up in here. Elizabeth, Linda HL. They are putting all that stuff together. 4034. She says JJ, Jawan Jennings. She also says Jets. Them Jets ain't been doing too good. Papa J in the building. What's up, Terror Dome and the Golden Domers? He's in there like swimwear on a fat chick. Amen. I shouldn't say that. That was me. I know they won't give it to Miles. He's definitely worthy of the MVP this year. He is. He is dominant at your position and having a serious outcome. Let's look at just how you get paid. You know how the NFL respects you by how you get paid. Are you the highest paid at your position? Yeah. Are you pressing the record books? Yeah. Do you get paid for sacking the quarterback? Yeah. Is that what you're doing? Yeah. When you are pressing the records in a season, that's got to weigh so heavy, just on a true objective look at how you call a player valuable. And for the value, man, you getting the best pass rusher in the business, a freak, plenty of tackles too, and tackle for losses. I think he's I'm gonna look his stats up and tell you everything about him, because this is what you gauge other players on too. It's my metrics. It's not official. And I've had debates with people on that's not how they do it. That's not how they do. Yes, it is. They look at the best player. They say, how are we paying the best player, and what does he get paid for? And for a pass rush specialist and defensive end, what they do is look at your sacks, look at your tackles for losses, look at your tackles, look at your productivity, your passes batted down, divide that all up in a percentage and say you should have probably somewhere, let's say $1 million for every sack, $1 million for every 10 tackles, $1 million for pass breakups. Add that all up. That's how you should get paid in the National Football League. That's really how they do it. And I've done this over. I back tested it, in what you call day trading. learning how to day trade and look at Fibonacci charts, daily charts, hour, 15 minutes. You have to back test your hypothesis to see if it if it yields. And I back tested it. Yeah, this is kind of how they do. And you pay Myles Garrett to get the quarterback on the ground, and he is about to be the best getter of quarterbacks on the ground ever. Dude, yeah, that's value. That's true value. Say what it is. Tomlin said, "Not today." Laugh out loud. Okay, yeah, man. He didn't want to give up that. You don't want to be the guy giving up the record, because it's going to be indelible. Everybody's going to run that clip like forever. When and maybe this ain't the greatest example, but when Michael Strahan got that record, everybody has seen when he got that record, how he got that record against Brett Favre, who y'all know how I feel about him. They're going to run it over and over and over again. It's going to live, in the folklore of NFL films. So you don't want to be that team. Don't give up, man. Oh, no, not today. Don't give it up. Oh, no. You will never have our logo associated with somebody else breaking a record against it. And, it just is what it is. You put a little extra incentives in there. I'd rather somebody else beat me than Myles Garrett. That's good coaching. I can understand it. Pittsburgh in jeopardy of choking away the AFC North. Hey, man. Yeah, they put themselves in a little bit of a pickle. They're going to have a brawl for it all. So are we. Did I mention that the LA Rams lost last night? This clears the way for our showcase showdown. That's going to be, they said Saturday. That the game will be Saturday against Seattle. I would think they would flex that to be like it was. What year was it? 2019? Was it 2019? It came down to that last game of the season, last play. And it was Greenlaw in Seattle on the 1 yard line, man. Oh, man, what a play. What a play. And, man, just speaking in terms of ratings for the National Football League, man, it'd be optimum. It'd be best. It'd be something. I promise you, it's going to be some fireworks. It's going to be something when we come out there in them black jerseys against Seattle. Whatever, I would flex it if I'm program director of Fox, CBS, Netflix, whoever. I would make it the last game of the year, but who am I? I'm merely Terradome here in charge of my own production. So nonetheless, I get some more water and holla at Bebop Jones. He says, no DK. That made a difference. But Bebop, it was on DK. You can't punch little blue-haired men in the little Smurf juice looking dudes in the stands, dude. You can't do that, man. If they lose this week too, it could directly be attributed by the bonehead move of DK, man. That's kind of on him. Hey, Terradome, how about them Niners Sunday night? We definitely put it on them Bears and put them into hibernation. Then, woo, yeah, we might as well get into it. I'm seeing some other stuff here. Stafford threw as many picks as Brock threw touchdowns this weekend. How many picks did Stafford? I didn't look at the line last night. I just saw that they had lost. How many picks did he throw? And I'm gonna get into a little bit of film here. Let me remove this, and let's just look at the week that was. I want to use my new telestrator, man, but sometimes it crashes out. So if it does, I will jump back and be, but this is such a nice telestrator. So y'all bear with me if it goes a little haywire. I'm gonna be quick about it and just go over some of the highlights of the season. I mean, let me get my big head out there. Yeah, I can get all the way down there. Man, we just look good. This is I wanted to show y'all just some of the subtleties that a lot of people don't realize and don't see about Brock Purdy. Naturally, we're gonna go over the great play, but let's look at some other stuff, man. Let's look at a couple of the touchdowns here. This is Brock. This is a 1st and 10 on the 10, and Brock is going for it, man. All right. You know, when you go back and listen to Bill Walsh, and you can do this on I think it's America's Game. I think it's no, it's what's that? Damn, what's the it comes on the NFL network. It's called they do an expose on somebody. Oh, I'm forgetting it. But they did one on Bill Walsh, and Ronnie Lott's talking about how Bill Walsh would look at Joe Montana's feet. He would look at his feet. And once I hear Bill Walsh did something, this becomes what the hell I'm doing, you know. And I noticed the feet. These are some subtleties that you saw, but you know, it passes people over, and this is why we get the Brockade and LC stuff. But there's some real subtleties in his nimbleness of feet that I saw early on that was a lot like Joe Montana. This in mind, let's look at this play again. It's a bootleg. It's one of my favorites down here. You love the bootleg action pass. Usually we run a 57 bootleg drag option pass. 7 meaning we're going to this lane, or a 59 would be this lane. You would start it left. Left numbers are odd. Even numbers are right. You know, that would be 58. Or that'd be 58. This would be 56. This would be a 54. This would be a 52. Y'all tracking? But, you know, Kyle, hey, he kind of threw it off, because if you got a right-handed quarterback, it's better for him to roll, you know, to the right. He bootlegs it here and rolls out this way. That way he can throw that thing like a shortstop, you know. But, hey, when you got nimble feet, you can go ahead and go 58. Now watch him. He's looking for his receiver, but if he doesn't see it, he's going to turn it up. And these are the subtleties right here. Let me make it nice and big. And where's the thing? No, don't do that. Don't do that. Clear it. Let me magnify it a little bit. These are the subtleties that nobody sees. Look, watch. You see that little hezzy? To the naked eye, it didn't mean anything. But watch how he kind of Walter Paytons it with a little. You see that longer stride? That sneezes a defender for just a second. That'll sneeze those guys for just a second, and then it will open it up a little bit more for you to just barely get in there. And a lot of people miss it because they're not looking for it. They ain't seeing it. But on that field, that little hezzy, and we'll look at it one more time. That little hezzy, watch him stride it out a little bit. You see that? Just a small little thing that he does, creating a little bit of space. Now, this is one we got to look out for our boy here, man. Jair Brown, who had a good game. No, well, he would do one or two things. He would make a tackle in the run fit, but boy, he would get cooked back there, man. He's not a true free safety. And the reason why I know he's not, you got to be heady. If you only have one tight end on this side, and you got trips 1, 2, 3, and the running back are all on this side, you need to apex yourself, meaning, be in between all of that and be wide as the widest and deep as the deepest. Let nothing get behind you. The threat is here. You got to know two things. Here's my threat, and where's my help? My help is over here. My help is outside. We're running a 3 deep, so I'm the deep guy, right? And let's look what he does. Let's he undercuts it. Let dudes get behind them. And hey, that costs you, man. That costs you, and you've seen the effects of it. You get on your horse. If he's up on your toes, if he's that fast, if he's Randy Moss, dude, you have to stay on this side of him. It is pivotal. You stay out here on him. You stay on his upfield shoulder. Here's his upfield shoulder. You stay up there on it and make a play and then attack the ball at the highest point. You dare not try to undercut it because you got space back here that he's going to, drop it in the batch. And that's what happened. So Jair, man, I don't know, man. I'd like Siegel back there. This is another look from it. You know where the threat is. You know where your help is. 3 deep zone. You got deep on the hashes. You the man in the middle. If he behind you, hey, man, it's over. It's over. All right. I was telling y'all about the little hezzies that Brock will do. The little hezzies, the little subtleties that a lot of people just be missing. Did y'all see that? It's just the little quick moves and the nimbleness of his feet. You'll see it better here. And this ain't even the main play. The main play is when he shook, he shook the world up with that pass to Juice. But I want you to watch the fake. And really, he probably, if he's reading it right, you probably want to go ahead and give it here because of the parallel hips of this defender out here, right? If the defender if his hips are, what we say, perpendicular, let me get another color. If his hips are perpendicular and he's screaming in on the fake, then you pull it and you go around. But when he's surfing, that's called a surfer move there, because it looks like he's hanging 10, you put the surfboard there. If he's surfing, you kind of want to, you probably want to give it to him because you probably want to go ahead and give it to the back because this is one less defender and he's worried about you. But so Brock makes probably the wrong read, but look what he does with it. Takes it out. Now watch this. Watch the little move there. He freezes dude in this hole and then dead legs it and pops it on over here. They didn't say anything about it during the podcast, but these are the little subtleties on this kid's feet, man. Look at him. Just a little crossover, just a little dead leg, just a little something. And a lot of people miss it. We just didn't get in the fit here, man. We didn't get in the fit here. Who is that? 48. Bethune just falls down on it. He's got to get in that fit. Take a look at Bethune. Bethune's got to be over there. Bethune's got to be sideline to sideline and make that play. Look at it from down here. See, he's tracking, but then he just falls inexplicably. Nobody really pushed him or anything like that, but we got to get into fit. He needs, who is this? That's Jair again. He's being the force defender. That's cool, but your pursuit, the boys got to be coming in like the Gotti boys, man. You got to close on this thing. You got to close on this thing. You got to close. You got to feel and fit. You got to feel and fit. And as you see, our dudes on the ground over here, nobody really touched them. But, you know, this is what leads to the subtleties, the subtle subtleties, the subtle subtleties. And this was beautiful here, man. I love having the eye backfield. That's the 58 again. It's a bootleg, but they have an element of the Spider 2Y banana in there. You got Juice coming out here. You got JJ on a cut to the corner. You've got levels on the concept here. Changing colors. You've got levels here and here. And then you got the ball in Brock's hands. He could take it. He could, you know, you're at his disposal. You want to put it in a good player's hands. This is how Buffalo lost that game. If they would have went with 57 bootleg drag option pass or a 58 bootleg with a Spider 2Y banana element of it, I think they would have came away victorious because things like this can happen. You see, he's got options. He's got options. And this right here, the subtle moves and the quick little nimbleness, it's damn near unfair. It's damn near unfair. Y'all remember when you played back in the day, you played that game. I used to watch the Three Stooges. Mo, Larry, and Curly. Y'all remember Mo, Larry, and Curly? And the Three Stooges, they would poke you in the eye, and then Mo would hit you in the stomach. You know, and then Curly was doing like this, and then Mo would hit him in the stomach, and he would try to protect the stomach, and then he put his eyes on it. When you got plays like that, you got the defense either covering their eyes or covering their stomach. I'm gonna get you either way. I'm gonna get you. You cover your eyes, I'm gonna hit you in the stomach. You cover your stomach, I'm gonna hit you in the eyes. And that's what you want with good players. That's what you want with your quarterback who's nimble. Great play designs with Kyle. He's getting the maximum he can out of these play designs. I really like what I see. And we'll look at it from here. It just puts an onus on these guys, man, because either you're coming up and you're going to tackle or you're going to fall back. You don't know what you're doing. You know, these guys were stuck. They were stuck. Let's go back. You see them stuck. Do you want your eyes poached or you want your stomach hit? They're doubled up on Juice right here. They're doubled up. You know, Juice can't go nowhere. You know, check them out. I got two of them right here, multiple bogeys. He's covered. But because Brock can either hit him in the stomach with a run, you know, they have to respect it, so they come up. And now what do? You leave your boy right there for the taking. You hit him in the eyes or the stomach. You hit him in the eyes or the stomach. And Brock's over there doing the Dougie. This is a really nice design as well. Looking at Kyle, man. Kyle, listen. I said, hey, don't do this on first down. Don't go empty set on first down. Always have the threat. And when you go downfield, press and make put people in conflict. Either you're coming up and you're gonna look at the eye candy, or you're gonna stay back there and play it safe. And you see how these guys come up, they saw the eye candy. So what does Brock do? It's simply a game of this guy's always wrong. If he comes up on the eye candy, we're going over his head. If he stays back, we're hitting the eye candy. It's simple. It's simple, man. Quarterback and play calling can be so beautiful. And then there go Ricky P. Did y'all see Ricky P with a? Ricky P said he was gonna block. Ricky P ain't gonna hit that dude. And it's a good thing he didn't, because you can't do that anymore. But he just crossed his face, and that's a good ball player. That's a Brisker, right? Number 9. I liked him looking at their film. His name is Jaquan Brisker, and he's that's a key. I can't call it a block. We'll call it a get in the way. Look at it. He just he's like Jill Scott, getting in the way of what I'm feeling. That's all you got to do. Just get in the way. Get in the way. And naturally, you see my boy, Juwan Jennings. I call him the calculator, in there like swimwear. He's getting ready to jump into some people in hoodies and t-shirts. I think those are the practice squad guys, or maybe somebody from halftime or something like that. But very excited. And hold on, let me get right. Give credit where credit is due. Let's take it back. As Mary J would say, let's take them back. I got to give credit to, let's get a good color for him. This young man right here. He did an outstanding job. They called him after the first play of the game and said, "Hey, Trent is out. We need you to go in there and be our Trent Williams." And he held it down. What is his name? It's not Weatherspoon. It's give me that guy's name. That guy, he did a tremendous job. All game, our offensive line provided great protection. I don't think Brock was sacked but once. Austin Pleasance. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you. Austin Pleasance. Let's shout him out, man. He did a wonderful job. Austin Pleasance. They came to you, man, after the first play and say, "Hey, that's like coming to a running back and say, hey, we need you to go in for CMC and be real good." This is another good throw, layered throw to Kendrick Bourne. That was beautiful as well. Brock was just in his bag, and Kyle was in his play design bag. Good play design and great protection. You kept my boy safe. Hey, we can do some things. When you're protecting, when you're opening the holes. I think Christian McCaffrey had 100 yards at the first half, if I'm not mistaken. Hey, that's what you want. We wanted to be hitting on all cylinders, and we want to be peaking right at playoff time. Another thing, too, ladies and gentlemen, nobody said it yet. Win this game against the Sea Chickens, we get another bye. That is 2 byes to a team that needs to heal up in 5 weeks. Because we had the late bye, right? In week 14, right? Miss Regette knows the week we had to buy. It was the latest buy I've ever seen in week 14. And then if we can win out, if we can put this one under our belt, another buy, 2 buys in 5 weeks to a team that needs to heal up. This is awesome. And then home field throughout. So it's just a lot riding on here. Now the Seahawks are they're a formidable team. We know about the Seahawks. You know, Dag, we play them 2 times a year. Everything it always comes to the Sea Chicken. It's always there. I thought Carolina would help me out. They're usually really good here in North Carolina. They're really good in Charlotte, but they made some pivotal turnovers, man. They went back to back on turnovers, and you can do that with lower echelon teams, but against a hot team, a good team, a disciplined team, NFC West team, you can't go multiple picks. With it was 3-3, and then they went multiple picks, and the lead increased to 10, and then 17. Then and then it was just 88 out the gate. So it was what it was. But I am going to be looking very, very hard at the Sea Chickens. A couple of things I did like with our defense. We got our hands up. I seen, and here are my notes here. Who got his hands up? It wasn't, but I got Al Collins. He had a PBU, as well as somebody else. Am I going to see it? 90. I want to say Kalia Davis got one. And although we didn't get the pass rush, and we didn't have the pass rush specialist and the pass rush artist, just getting your hands up and getting those pass breakups as defensive linemen, I can't stress enough how it is a drive killer, a momentum killer for the offense. It was Jordan Ellie. I think it was. I think I remember 93. I thought I wrote it down, bro. I usually highlight the good stuff in yellow. Where's it at? I think it was him. I liked what I saw there. Either way, Al Collins he looks like I-95 out there. He's as big as I don't know, man. I think he's scared of people just looking at him. He is a man. But Kalia Davis, usually I'm pretty tough on him. He gets his shoulders turned a little bit, man. But when you realize you're not there and you're in that passing lane, just get your hands up, man. Because the benefits of it is once a ball is tipped, there is no pass interference. You can just go and tackle the would-be guy. You can just jump on his back, just tackle him, and then another collateral benefit, you can get the pick because it's more of y'all looking at the quarterback or in the vicinity of the ball, breaking on it than the wide receiver. So it's just so good to just get your hands up, man. I will clip this up, and please y'all share it with everybody, every defensive lineman we got, man. If you can't get there, get your hands in the air. That's all I ask. Yeah. So, and I know we got 38 points put on us, but looking inside that 38 points, and we didn't have any sacks, and it seemed like, oh man, he's just running crazy. But with those 38 points, Brock spotted him 7 with the pick 6. Right? First play of the game, Brock just said, I'm feeling so good, I'm gonna go ahead and spot y'all 7 points. All right. The free play, big play with Caleb Williams, when everybody kind of stopped and he just gunned it downfield, was a free play. They took that, and then they had a bogus drive, and I didn't clip it up, but I think Bethune makes a tackle, and they said he was going at the offensive lineman's legs. And, those, they say you're not supposed to blame the refs, and if you good enough, you just can beat it. And no, they F up too. they screw up. They screw up, and it can cost you points, and it can cost a drive to be sustained when you had the drive in tow. And I'm gonna shout it to the Gills. Yeah, they are not beyond the pale. So given that, let's just take back those 21. Dude, what are we talking here? Is it a 21-42 game now? You see what I mean? And but we're gonna take our lumps in terms of defense. Robert Saleh he was trying everything out there, man. He was trying double A gap blitz. The only thing I ain't see him go to was a 5-man defensive front. And really looking at the stats, we were okay in terms of rushing. Our rushing defense. Let's get back to the stats here. Brock Purdy was 24 of 33, 303 yards, 3 touchdowns passing, a pick, but another 2 touchdowns rushing that we just went on over. Caleb Williams was kind of out of his mind for Caleb Williams. 25 of 42 for 330 yards and 2 tutties. But it was like what I looked at on the film on the pre game run up. He's 59%, dude. It's 59%, and he was missing a couple of wide opens here and there. Y'all saw it, and he favored to the right. It's just like the scouting report says it is. Let me put this right here. And DeAndre Swift was 9 carries, 54 yards. He had 2 touchdowns. Again, one of them was from that prolonged drive given by the bogus, I think they said a chop block or illegal blocking of an offensive lineman below the knees. And he's making the tackle. I digress. And Kyle Monangai came alive a little bit with his 8 carries, 38 yards. We didn't give up 100 yards by the running backs. Of course, when you factor in Caleb, it's 110, but he's gonna do that. His longest was 6. He went 5 for 18. It wasn't like a few Christmas nights ago, years ago when that daggone Action Jackson came out here and ran for, I think he ran about 85. Luther Burden had a good game. Luther Burden, we just didn't have the answers for. 8 of 138. And for those of y'all who we had to run up to the draft, he was who I was looking at in terms of he reminded me of Anquan Bolden in college. He's out of Missouri, so I had my eye on him as well. And shout out to the Bears, man. They did a wonderful job with the draft as well as bringing in Dahlman, the center. A lot of the people that they got, I liked. I do. As far as receiving go, they bringing up Jake Tongas. He stepped in there too, man. Shout out to Jake Tongas as well. Jake Tongas, hey man, when they come to you and say, hey, the future Hall of Famers out, we need you to step in and do something. Jake Tongas be there, man. Jake Tongas be there. Ricky P was 5 of 85. He didn't get a touchdown, but he had 8 targets and he had a really good long one. CMC was CMC, 4 for 41 on 6 targets. Hey, that's 10 plus per reception. That's all you can ask, man. That's all you can ask. We got Demarcus Robinson in there, Kendrick Bourne in there. What I'm trying to say is I'm alluding to and I'm setting up. That won't Jamar Chase he was throwing to, ladies and gentlemen. That won't Justin Jefferson. That wasn't DK Metcalf. That wasn't the Avengers. No Brandon Ayuk. No Deebo Samuel. No George Kittle. Right? So have we put to bed officially the he needs this and that? Think about it. Clip that up, send it to your friends, tell them to tell me, come and talk to me. I don't bite, but you need to be a man or a woman, whichever you prefer. You know, you got to be nice these times of day. You got to be nice. You can't say everything like you want. Whatever your preference. Come in here and tell me what's what. I see your hates. I see your speeches, your Brock turdies. I see all your other stuff. Be a man or a woman. Come on in here after you done lost the LA Rams. After you done lost to Atlanta, you done wet the bed. Come on in here, talk about it. I come to your shows, which you don't really have no shows, but you know what I mean. Yeah, but I can't find any of them there. I can't find any. On the defensive side of the game, Tatum Bethune led all tackles with 11 total. D Winters was right behind him with 7 totals. Upton Stout, who he sustained an injury. I think it was a concussion. We're hoping we're going to need him against these Sea Chickens because they got little quick microbite receivers. We know them all too well. We're going to need all hands on deck for them. And, you know, this was a good little, I don't want to say it too. No, this is a big game. They were both 11. They double-digit teams. They're going to go to the playoffs. They're leading their division. People will say, well, it was only the Bears or, you know, it was only the Colts or he's a 44-year-old man or that. Dude, that's an NFL team on going to the playoffs. You know what I mean? So don't poo-poo any wins in the National Football League. These are good teams with good players that I know personally I would have got Dahlman on this team if I could. Brisker can play. These are good teams, and we went out there and handled business. Had just enough non-stop entertainment. Couldn't get a stop for a little bit, boy. That third and fourth quarter, I was like, good Lord. That's all that's all I have on it. You know, when I take my notes, I say, let me remove this real quick. When I'm taking my notes, man, I highlight the good stuff in yellow and then the not so good stuff in red or pink. And this was that, you know, minutes left in the third until the fourth. You know, that's a lot of red there. That was a lot of red. I'm like, is we gonna stop anybody, Jesus? Stop them, you know. But we knuckled down when we needed to, made it happen. The world has seen the last 2 weeks. You finally got to see, you know, what we've been seeing for quite a long time, since December of 2022. The nimbleness, the quickness, the decision making, the processing, the accuracy of Brock Purdy, the anticipation of Brock Purdy. One of those passes, man, particularly the deep crosser, Brock's putting that thing up before the guy turns around. He's just throwing to the spot. Hey, faith, substance things hope for, the evidence things unseen. I can't see him open right now visually, but with my vision, I know he's supposed to be there, and I'm just gonna throw it and pray that he knows his plays. I trust him. He gonna run right into this ball, and sure enough, that's what he did. That's what he did. Chicago got 3 Pro Bowlers. I believe they. Let me see if I can guess them. That Byard, right? The safety, he is leading the league for as far as safeties are concerned. In interceptions, he's got quite a few. I bet it's either Noshawn Wright or Jaquan Brisker. And on offense, It's got to be one of those offensive linemen. Darnell Wrights had a really uh, good season. I love Drew Dahlman. Joe Tooney's good. Jonah Jackson. They got a really good offensive line, y'all. And Colston Loveland's going to be one of those that you got to deal with. A couple years later, I don't want to see him after some seasoning with him and Caleb. If Caleb's smart, he would just get right in there. No, you China, or no China. That's what your boy always say there. And what's that running back? Mortigay, hey man, he was a couple problem, man. I think we had hooked up Swift, which we had done before. He didn't want to see no parts of Diamador Lenore. But Menange came in there with, he was like, hey man, I'm coming in here to do what I got to do. I'm trying to get some money. I'm trying to get a job. So he acted up. I think George will play. I'm pretty confident he'll be out there. I doubt Trent Williams will play. Yeah, if Trent's when he went to that 10, he looked pretty frustrated. If you know that hamstring, if you can't come back to the game, if they can't tape it up and just say you can play with that, that is not a grade 1. That's a grade 2 probably. If he's trying to squat a little bit, like bend down, and you feel that thing high up near your glute max, it's pretty tough. You want it, if you're gonna pull it, you want it lower towards the knee and not up there towards the glute max, because it's just tough. I pulled mine. I can remember 1 or 2 pulls. I had problems with hamstring and then a groin, and it just derails the whole damn season, man. It just nags the whole. You can't. They can tape it up, they ice it, they put the electrodes on it, you just gotta rest it and do those little exercises they have in physical therapy, man. But it just ain't quite right. It is what it is. It's gonna take some time. And then that scar tissue from it makes it susceptible to pop again. So that's what I learned from Coach Desi. It doesn't heal. No new muscle comes there. It's scar tissue, and that is like super glue holding that thing together. So it makes it, you really have to warm up and really stretch and really strengthen, because it's susceptible to pop again. So that's the problem with those hamstrings. Shout out Diane Leslie, 4K, K4K. Good to see you this morning. Good to be seen. And Miss Watson, Randy Watson, Miss Watt 0679. You China or no China? I don't mess with China too much. I get a little bit of some products from them and everything because they're good and cheap. That's all I know about China. China. And I got some more people. Are you a China, or I don't know what the China thing is. Let me let this go like another love. TKO. I have been here for an hour. Terror Dome. Gonna be back probably Thursday. I might be back a little bit later on today. I am off. I ain't doing much of nothing. I might grab a couple of friends. We'll see what Wolf is doing. I'll come back at y'all a little later on. And I'm going to get in deep dive into the Seattle Sea Chickens. I'm going to look at their last 2 games. I'm going to look at the map on where your boy throws the ball, Sam Darnold. I'm going to see what coverages he has trouble with. I'm going to look at their tendencies, and we're going to do. I already know the title for the show is going to be Blackout Drive. Blackout Drive. In the military, we used to drive in Blackout Drive. You put those night vision goggles on, and they had these subtle, almost unsusceptible to the eye, unseen with the naked eye, little dots of muted light And man, you could drive a whole convoy in blackout drive. And given the fact that we're gonna have those black jerseys on, they saying when you're black, we gotta get blacked out. We gotta go old dark 30. And we're gonna show down with the Seattle Sea Chickens. Y'all know what it is. It's a gang fight. They're the ones we always rumble against. So we're gonna get that done. TD, big game tomorrow, baby. The U versus the Ohio State University. Hey man, I gotta line up and I gotta play hard. I'm sure they favored by about 10. And they've had a wonderful year with the slip up against Indiana. Not with said, but hey man, I owe y'all back for that 2003 Fiesta Bowl. Y'all stole one from me, man. You owe me one. You owe me one. I'm looking to collect. I'm going Machiavellian on y'all tomorrow. Machiavellian. I'm coming back to take what the devil stole from me. Best viewers on streambo.com. Remove the space. Okay, cardiovascular group B, grouper B, whatever y'all got over there. I'm on Twitch today too, so I gotta see my Twitch and my YouTube people, man. Good to see y'all. Good to be seen. Y'all throw that thing down on the Twitch, and yeah, that's about it. I'll talk to y'all again later, and as I get updated with the injuries, as I get updated with everything else, I work more critical on the scouting part of this, but I'm gonna be into it all. I said that for the scouting report against the Bears, they are opportunistic defense. They proved that well. They invested well on the offensive line. Caleb buys time for throws. Swift is decent, and I said the keys to winning protective football: be balanced on the offensive attack, run and pass, and contain Williams in the pocket. Make him play QB, and at the end, it showed. It showed. Make him be a QB. Don't let him run all around on you. Just make him be a QB. It's going to be very similar with the Seattle Seahawks. Let's get to them. If we have to manufacture a blitz, I'll get into that a little bit more. But I want to tell everybody, thank you all for coming out and hanging on with the Terror Dome on a Victory Tuesday. And remember, we walk by faith and not by sight. In Jesus' name, amen. Thank you all.